What's up, family? So welcome to the family. This is the community for saving the world. My name's F Serpent, aka Alexander Fairman, at your service. What's up, gangsters and goddesses, fairies and knights, kings and queens in the mother building. Welcome to the fam bam. What's up, Haroon? Good to see you guys in here, Mickey. Demetrius, hey. It's good to see all you guys. So welcome back to the family, where we talk about interesting stuff that blows your mind and makes you think about reality differently and have more fun and hopefully save the world eventually. By saving ourselves, first and foremost. We are the only ones that we can save, right? So tonight I want to talk to you. First of all, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are all having a good day. It's a Friday, so perhaps you're freed from your daily labor or slave job if you were forced to have one. Or, but hopefully you've enjoyed it, even if it's something you wouldn't otherwise do. It's something that you've enjoyed and that you've connected to people and that you've shared a little love, and that you've had some fun. Good tonight. No fooling. Yeah, I want to apologize. Yesterday I was slacking. I've been in this conference, this marketing conference, networking with people, and it's been amazing. I've been talking with some guys who flipped billion-dollar companies who are mentoring me and teaching me the ways of the force. They're teaching me the higher levels of entrepreneurship. So it's been awesome. But I want to tonight talk about fun because I'm having so much fun at this conference. And I wanted to talk about why is it that we have so much fun when we're at these social events, like these conferences or these retreat workshops, or like anytime you get in a group for like a few days and your normal reality kind of disintegrates. It's like everyone just lights up. Day 2 usually, right? Like day 1, everyone's like shedding all the layers of like the boringness of our lives. And then day 2, everyone's lit. So I've been going through the crowd and I'm just like starting to fill myself up with this power, with this energy. And my walk has changed. Like my whole presence has changed. And I wanted to make this scope tonight about fun and how we have the most fun in life. And I think I have a cool answer for you guys about how we do that. And why is having fun so important? Because when we're having fun, we bring forth our greatest gifts. Like when we're having a good time, energy is flowing. That's why it's fun. It feels good, right? It's like you can feel that flow. All right, awesome. See you, Mickey. So when you're having fun, the energy flows. And if the energy's flowing, you're going to have the greatest level of personal abilities. You'll have the greatest level of communication, the greatest level of love. You'll be most able to connect to people. You won't focus on the negative. You'll focus on the positive, and you'll just amplify that and build that up until you're bright and shiny, right? This is what I've been doing. So how do we have the most fun? And for me, it has to do with when I'm playing a role that I love to play, and I'm almost like an actor. Like, I don't know what it is for you guys, and I want to hear how when you are having the most fun in life and what that is, right? Raising the vibration, exactly. And so, like, for me, I step into these acting roles, and it's like you would think, oh, don't act, be real. But when I say I'm stepping into an acting role, it's more like stepping into part of myself, because I believe you don't have just one self, right? You don't have just one you. You have many yous, and you can experience all of them. And the reason I think many people become pissed off is because they're stuck in their one ego self. Like, I'm only this person, and my life only works this way. But what if you had access to all the aspects of yourself, from your child self to maybe an older person to maybe a renegade or a rebel that doesn't give a damn, and also that person that's super respectful. And here's the thing. Okay, Demetrius, this is such a good, interesting point. I don't feel comfortable to be this self, but I'm learning to be it anyways. Like, my true self makes people feel uncomfortable because it makes them feel awake. I walk with this power and with this stride, and I go right up to people and I say interesting things that put people in a space of having to answer for real. They can't be on autopilot when I am there. I look at them genuinely and I make a comment that'll be different every time. So I'll like walk up to a guy and I'm like, you have a powerful stride. You're a man of purpose, aren't you? And he's like kind of taken aback. Like, no one tells me that, right? He's like, yeah, I guess so. And then we build a back and forth from that. And then I'm like, okay, this conversation's done. We're going to the next one. And so, yeah, it's super fun. And the more I step into this character, the more fun I have when I'm being this like mover and shaker figure. And inside, I still feel like an imposter. Like there's a voice in my head that's like, dude, this isn't you. But it feels so good to be that character, and so much better things happen that I wonder if maybe that voice in my head is just the voice of my own ego trying to get me back inside my box, like back inside my bubble. And sometimes if you're out partying and having a great time, I feel like you'll, especially under the influence, if you're having a good night, you can slip into another version of yourself, like the super confident, happy version of yourself. Or just you're with your family and you're charged up, right? Vibrations high. But what I'm curious is that I want to create characters that can survive in the densest of realities. Yeah, they're totally sincere. It's not fake, but like you can say so many things and they can all be true, right? So it's like, which one do you choose to say? But I want to create characters that can survive in the densest of realities. Like, I'm kind of an actor like that. And I want to create a guy who can go into a really like almost negative situation and still be the same and not need all the good vibes to be charged up. Like that's what I'm going for here. And I've been doing that at this conference. And it's interesting. It's like the most fun thing I could imagine doing. So what is it? When are you having the most fun? And what is that? It's like one of the hardest questions, right? I've struggled with this question. An old friend of mine used to ask me, how are you having any fun? And I used to never be able to answer that question. And I think most people, when they think of fun, they think of going out and like partying or like doing something kind of, maybe it's watching a movie or whatever, but like I'm actually thinking that most people maybe haven't yet fully experienced the fun possibilities that are out there. And that being in social situations where you get to be a different version of yourself and experience a different version of yourself is the most fun thing ever. When everybody is agreeing to play in this other world and this other reality. And that, and like really, if you look at everything in life, it's acting. This is like a big thing I've been lately feeling, is that we're all actors in our own play. And the problem is most people's play or most people's movie is not an exciting enough movie for them to fully bring forth their gift. So the story around ourselves has to change in order to bring forth the very greatest part of who we are. So if I say that, like, you could go into a situation and let's just describe two different characters, right? Character one would be the healer. So imagine you go into a situation as the healer. You're talking to somebody you've met or you were meeting recently, and you're wanting to help heal them. So what do? You ask them questions about what's going on in their life. You speak truth to them. If you're going to be a real healer, right? You speak truth that allows them to come face to face with themselves, and you support them in finding truth. That's how people really heal. I wish it was as simple as giving somebody, a hug. But really, the greatest healing is through truth, facing the truth in ourselves. And that's where lives get changed. I was talking to a man who regularly works with billionaires, and he was describing to me how he got his first billionaire contracts or clients. And the guy comes in and he's like, he's a nutritionist, this guy. Yes, yeah, sometimes your intuition can guide you to say exactly the right thing. Yeah. So the story is that this guy that I was being mentored by today explained how he met his first billionaire and how he got him to be his client. And the billionaire was they were on a golf course, and the he introduced himself as a nutritionist and said some things about what he does. And the billionaire kind of was like, well, whatever. I have all these companies. I have all this money, kind of bragging. And so the man said to him, completely even, in a very grounded way, but none of that money matters at all if you don't have your health. And the billionaire was like, he took for pause for a second, and he was like, "Yep, you're right. You're right. We've got to handle this. I'll hire you. Can you get me healthy?" And so because this guy said exactly the truth to the billionaire then started to work with him as a client in that most grounded way. And that's how we like heal people, right? It's like you tell them the truth. Because everybody in their lives is probably not telling them the truth. Like most people are probably telling people what they want to hear. And you ever feel like those few friends, those few people that like just give it to you raw are the people you love the most? Lance who? That's who. The people that you like appreciate the most are the ones who give you the real honest truth about what they see in you and what's really going on, because they're not caught up in the need for approval. They're not caught up in the need for validation that everybody seems to be seeking so much. They're happy to say it like it is. And I'm working on being one of those people. It's not easy because I like to be liked. I like to be, I like people to like me, but the thing is, that's a key for me to kill my happiness by being dependent on other people's liking me. Because I can have a likable personality and I can have a very unlikable one, but to have the most fun, a wellness coach in SD. No, this guy was, he lives in Orange County, and his name is Scott. But yeah, and so this brings us back to fun, because when we're trying to seek outside validation, we're not having fun. And the cool thing about playing characters or bringing out a different side of yourself is that you're not seeking validation when you're doing it. Normally, when you seek validation, you change who you are based on who is in front of you. But when you're not seeking validation, you're being a version of yourself turned up at full volume and just letting people have their reaction. And there's something so liberated. Yeah, there's a few out there doing the good work. It's just so liberating to let go of needing people to react and respond to you in certain ways. Like, it's the best thing ever to just have that freedom to be thyself in the fullest way possible, in a creative way, right? And so, like, find your creative self and then be that. Find that interesting character and then be that. And people will naturally love your personality because it's so different and because it's adding value. Like, what are people today? They're bored. So anybody who shows up as a different type of character with a different message is interesting. And people prefer interesting. Why do people love Donald Trump? He's interesting. He's going to say some shit that's interesting. Not because he's a good leader. He's a good orator. He's good at whipping crowds into frenzies. But, so, having fun, let's suppose that it does indeed have to do with accessing different aspects of your personality and telling yourself a different story. So you could walk into a room, like I said, as a healer and be like, I'm trying to heal people, I want to help people, I want to love people, right? And you're looking for these opportunities. You could also go into a room as the self-assured kind of amusement seeker.